real enemies, and let's come together in truth. Just recently, I saw a post about the flat Earth, and people were talking about it, and it was like this guy was doing. They were like, it was a science thing where he was like driving in the car, and he stuck his head out of the car, and he was like, "See, look, I'm moving fast, and I can feel the air blowing on me, and I can feel that I'm moving. Like, he's like, I get out of the car, and I don't feel anything moving. So how can the Earth be moving 10,000 miles per hour and all of this?" And it's like they were eating them up in the comments, and like this guy didn't make it out of third grade science, like. And it's like I feel like a lot of people they either didn't pay attention in third grade science or they're trolling. I don't think it really matters at this point.
There's enough out there that people that just don't have that strong mental thing believe it. It's just like the NASA landing and stuff, or the moon landing. There's a lot of people that was a hard community too, man. And I'll tell you, the only reason one of the main reasons I absolutely believe we went to the moon is my dad was in the Air Force back then. I actually met some of the test pilots who went on to become astronauts. And those crazy mother friggers would absolutely fly up in experimental technology that may or may not make it with a pair of pliers and a roll of duct tape just in case anything went wrong.
Man, that's gangster right there. That's gangster. I believe of the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
But see, I can sympathize with people who don't believe in the moon landing, because it's like, all you have is pictures and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying the moon landing didn't happen. All I'm saying is I can sympathize with somebody having denial of that, but like denying gravity or denying, here's
the first question you want to ask someone who says flat Earth. Are you a Christian? Are you an atheist or not? If you are an atheist and believe in flat Earth, there's nothing much that can be done. Come on, refocus. The problem is we get these people that, well, it says it in the Bible, there's a firmament and blah, blah, blah. You know that what great, reliable scientific text the Bible is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great if we're talking theology and stuff like that. But if we're not talking theology and we're not talking social issues, if we're not talking history, it's not exactly good scientific data.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's the biggest part. And then, they're all, oh, what about this? What about this? And I'm like, well, everything I've learned contradicts that. But let's play a game called Follow the Science so we can understand exactly why 4 years ago people were getting kicked offline and stuff like that because of science, yet now they've been proven right. So if we go back then, all this time, the earth is flat, the earth is flat, the earth is flat. If you do not agree to this, well, first of all, it's in the Bible. Now, if you do anything against the Bible or try to prove anything against the Bible, you are a blasphemer. You are a heretic. And hey, we got this nice little warm spot out back on this pile of sticks for you.
Well, I understand that because, back in the days, they wanted to kill, I can't even think of the names. What did they try to kill Isaac Newton?
All of them.
Yeah. They
Newton, Galileo.
Galileo.
Pythagoras actually ended his life in hiding. He spent much of his life in, shit. Rorschach. No.
Yeah, they wanted them guys dead. They're like, blasphemer. They're like gravity is a thing or whatever. Blasphemer, kill him, witch. Yeah, people. It takes people a little while to come around. I think that's a thing. It takes people a little while, It's like that even to this day, because when they come out with new science, it needs to be peer reviewed, like I don't know how many times before it gets accepted. And depending on who is the scientist too, sometimes, because they reject science, even good science, if it's coming from the wrong scientist, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Your reputation has a lot to do with it. What the community thinks of you, if you've been accepted in the community, where you're from in the world, like what your nationality or what country you're from. All of that stuff has impact on whether or not the scientific community is going to accept your work. Even though you have great data and you have peer reviewed information, you can what do they call it when you can recreate it over and over again? You can test it and all of that, and they still it'll take them 20, 30, 40, 50 years. A lot of it, I'm an anthropologist, so there was a guy who discovered something. What was it? I don't want to mess it up, but anyways, this guy discovered something, and they didn't like it. I think it was the damn it, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Where he found it and what it was saying in science, they didn't like it. So they went with some shit that was fake. Somebody faked some fossils, and the scientific community went with that as truth and put this other guy's stuff to the side and said it wasn't true. And it took like 50 years for them to come back around. It was after the guy had died. They finally came around and said this dude was right, and it put like the evolution of man into Africa and all of that stuff. And they wanted a Britain, they wanted it to be Britain. So that's why somebody was able to give them some fake stuff and them to take it, because that's what they were looking for. He gave them exactly what they were looking for, but it was like animal bones mixed with whatever, and it had never been tested. It didn't get tested until like 50 years later or some shit. And the people tested it and they were like, this is some damn animal bones, like a baboon or some shit. Mixed with something that this guy didn't like. He put some teeth together from two different animals or something weird like that. And it's just, I don't know. They want to believe what they want to believe. So they look for science that upholds their already beliefs. And it's like that in the politics. We cover politics a lot. And
It's
it's
the
the same
exact same way. Cognitive, what is it? Cognitive, not dissonance,
consciousness.
but the verification. Um, you choose what is right and wrong, and you look for information to prove that, rather than use the information to take you to a conclusion. It's the exact same thing. I hate every single cop show that I see where they sit there and go, this is the person that did it. We're going to prove it. We're not going to stop until we prove it. To me, that is such a horrible thing, both for TV, but also to show cops doing.
Yeah,
Because the
that's not
bottom,
real detective work, because they're like, I got a good
exactly.
feeling about this guy, and then
But
I'm coming through it.
a lot of cops do work that direction. They go, well, I got a gut feeling that it's this guy, and I'm going to make sure that I can prove it. Instead of saying the evidence brought me to this guy,
Yeah.
can I connect him to it?
Yeah.